Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me? Yes, okay, you can hear me. All right, I couldn't hear myself. All right. Good morning and welcome to United Unitarian Universalist Congregation. My name is Meg Whaley, and I am super excited to tell you that Elissa Watson and Koeppel are joining me this morning, as well as Alex and Aaron. Thank you. Aaron, it was gone. I knew it was an A, but that's all I could remember. I'd like to welcome any visitors that we have this morning, and let everybody know that we have a potluck, a sandwich potluck today after the service. And even if you didn't bring anything, there's always a lot of food. So please come down and be with each other and celebrate spring. And don't look outside with celebrate spring with sandwiches and celebration. All right. I have a couple of announcements for you. You've seen them rotating on here, but Gilles is going to come up and give you an auction announcement.
Morning, I'm Gilles, the auction chair. So last week when I stood up here, I said, hey, as we know, people like to wait till the last minute. We were just shy of under $4,000 in total value of donated auction items. You guys rallied. We're now at over $10,500 worth of estimated items. So thank you all for your support. And we know as humans and in UUCs, there's nothing we like to do better than miss a deadline. It's all part of the process. We're not surprised. It's how it goes. So today's the official deadline, and the real last deadline will be a week from today, because we know that's how that works. But thank you all for getting in the bulk of the stuff early. That really helps the committee and I just kind of organize and get our head around everything. So we're on a great projection. For one, also now people will, as we're getting closer, people want to be bringing in items if you have them. That's the youth room, which we don't actually label as the youth room. So it's room number 2, the Charlotte Simpson room, just one door down from the child care room. And so that's the main thing, is that the really final due date for items in will be next Sunday. And then the online auction then is due to be up and going officially for bidding on April 10th, but in the meantime, if you like, you can go and browse the auction website now as we're sorting through things just to get a feel for what's there. There's a whole amazing range of things, from handmade items to events to check cutting trees. So yeah, we are in good shape. Any questions from anybody? Nope. Great. Thank you.
The auction is definitely a sign of spring. Our chalice lighting this morning is actually a reading by Whaley. It's called The Balance We Seek. The hours of day and night are in balance, in honor of earth-centered traditions that celebrate this time of year. We observe that the flaming chalice holds the elements of the 4 directions: earth, air, fire, water, the lamp oil for earth, the air that feeds the flame, the fire we light, and the chalice itself, the cup, the symbol of water. We let our chalice and reflect on the balance we seek in our lives, the balance we seek in our hearts, the balance we seek in our world. And now Emma will do our call to worship.
Good morning. So every month for the last couple of months, Meg and I have had a practice where we set some intentions for what we want to work on or focus on for the coming month. And I think it was January, she came over and she said that she wanted to rewrite the Lord's Prayer. And specifically, she said she wanted to make it more nature-based and more earth-centered and focused on the mother instead of the father. And so we had fun trying to do that. And what I'm going to read for the call to worship is what resulted. Our Mother, who art on earth, holy is your body. Ground us in your sacredness and help us to recognize your abundance, so that we may see and share our whole selves freely. Give us clarity to walk a path of purpose, compassion, and understanding, so that we may weave more love into the world. For you are the source of all life, the sacred embodied, and the center of the miraculous web that allows love to flow between all things. Blessed be. And now we will sing Spirit of Life. Please rise.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Good morning. Our first reading is from Mary Oliver, called Teach the Children. Teach the children. We don't matter so much, but the children do. Show them daisies and the pale hepatica. Teach them the taste of sassafras and wintergreen. The lives of the blue sailors, mallow, sunburst, the moccasin flowers, and the frisky ones, inkberry, lamb's quarters, blueberries, and the aromatic ones, rosemary, oregano. Give them peppermint to put in their pockets as they go to school. Give them the fields and the woods and the possibility of the world salvaged from the lords of profit. Stand them in the stream, head them upstream. Rejoice as they learn to love this space as they live in. Its sticks and leaves, and then the silent, beautiful blossoms. Attention is the beginning of devotion.
So our story for all ages this morning is Roar Like a Dandelion by Ruth Krauss. We had 3 stories we were trying to decide between, and this one made the least sense. So we chose it. Act like a sprinkler in the summer. Butt like a billy goat. Crow like a rooster, make the sun come up. Dance with a leaf. Eat all the locks off the doors. Fall like the rain. Go like a road. Hold your arms out like a little pine tree. Ignore yourself and get mad. Jump like a raindrop. Kick away the snow and make spring come. Look under the bed for poetry. Make music. Nod yes. Open your eyes, see the sea, shut them fast, lock it in. Paint a picture of a cage with an open door and wait. Quack by a waterfall and make a pretty rhythm. Roar like a dandelion. Sit in the sun and shine. Try to hug yourself in a puddle. Undress to match trees in winter. Vote for yourself. Walk backward all the way home. X out all the bad stuff. Yell, "Good morning, big fat world." Zip, 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 zip. That's the end. Okay, so now we'll sing the children out with Lily.
Go lift it up, love bless your way. Moonlight, starlight, guide your journey into peace and the brightness of day.
To center yourself with your palms gently resting in your lap, facing upwards. Your eyes relaxed or gently closed based on your comfort. Feeling into this season of balance, the equal day and the equal night, as we read The Turning by Quiana Dene Perkins. At the last turning, I was invited to a meeting among the sun, the earth, and the moon. The sun asked, "Do you have space in your heart for a great light?" The earth said, "I will hold you down if you are willing." The moon said, "I will guide you if you need it." And it was easy to say yes to the energies of balance. So for turning, we have found ourselves dancing. The sun took the lead, sharing a drop of their luminescence. I held it deep in my heart when the darkness loomed, held it on the tip of my fingers when others called for it, coming to understand space, becoming a beacon, learning the nuance of shadow and light. The earth kept her word. I was planted deep and rooted hard. I was uprooted, replanted, and loved until I was healed and able to feel the small tug from soil calling me down, demanding I grow again. And the moon, a sister auntie, stayed faithful at my side, always hovering, always playing, laughing, reminding me that joy takes many forms and keeps no schedule, reassuring me with loving pats and, "Oh, child," whispered commentary, a subtle and wanted companion on this journey. And the turning is coming again. The sun said, "Daughter, you have done well." The earth said, "Healer who is still healing, you always have home." The moon said, "Beloved shadow worker, we will cast new spells soon. We radiate the light, we rotate the life, we revolve back into love, we enter a new season of possibilities." Our energy and resources are the gifts of what we share. By contributing to the growth of this community, we affirm it and enable its participation in the world around us. We hope to remain a voice and an instrument of our free faith, united in the spirit of love, courage, and service. We will now do our offering.
Walking with you is our bread.
In sorrow, before Check gets up here, I hung the flag this morning in honor of the Waukesha School District.
I heard they're not making yardsticks any longer. Oh, my friends, it's springtime again. Buds are swelling on every limb. Peepers do call, small birds do sing, and my thoughts return to gardening. Gardening is a very fine art. Bear well in mind before you start. Lay up your axe and your saw blade also, and take down your spade and your rake and your hoe. Polish your hoe till the blade does shine, likewise your rake, and sharpen each tine. Truss up your spade with a light coat of oil, and then you are ready to prepare your soil. Prepare your soil with a good free will. Bear well in mind what you may till, some compost and lime, and all that you need. And then you are ready to plant your seed. Plant your seed, but none too soon. Bear well in mind the phase of the moon. Set out the fruit, the roots, and the grain, and hope it all sprouts in the cool early rain. In the cool early rain, if the cool early rain don't drown you out. The first hot spell will bring on a drought. The midsummer sun is hotter than hell. Mulch down your rows and you water them well. Water them well and thin them also. Beware of weeds and beetles and crows. If you work every day, then little is lost. Just hope it all ripens before the first frost. The first frost will come as sure as sin. Then you must hasten to gather it in. By cartloads and bushels, by pecks and by quarts, your harvest of fruits and grains of all sorts. All sorts of peaches and apples and wheat, oat and rye and strawberries sweet, squashes and melons and colorful rinds, your harvest of vegetables, roots of all kind. All kinds of turnips and carrots and beets, potatoes, tomatoes, and strong-smelling leeks, cabbage and hay. Then you must carefully store it away in the cellars and the lofts and bins. Make cider and kraut, pickles and gin. If you do it all well, then you'll not go wrong. You'll have plenty all winter long. All winter long while the cold winds blow. Take down your saw and wood cutting go. If you're well fed and warm, be well content then, till warm weather comes and you say to your friends, oh my friends, it's springtime again. Buds are swelling on every limb. Peepers do call, small birds do sing, and my thoughts return to gardening.
So the spring equinox takes place between March 19th and the 22nd in the northern hemisphere. During this time, the direct rays of the sun hit the equator, making the day and night equal in length. The most important part of the day is when the sun hits its zenith, the precise moment when the sun is perfectly lined up with the equator. This moment marks the first day of spring, when the light triumphing over the darkness. The earth begins waking up. Plants start to sprout from the ground, and animals come out of hibernation. Ostara is a pagan solar holiday honoring the spring's warmth, light from the sun, and the awakening of the earth. Pagan celebrations during this holiday have themes of balance, renewal, and rebirth. The symbols of Ostara are spring flowers, fairies, butterflies, rabbits, and eggs. The colors of Ostara are pastels, yellow, orange, lavender, and green. So when Emma, Elissa, and I started to plan the service, and we did this for the winter solstice service as well. We draw a card from an oracle deck or a tarot deck to guide us in our planning. And Emma and I used the wild and sacred feminine deck, and Elissa used the mystical shaman oracle deck. I think this is a very fun process for me. And Emma drew the maiden. I drew the mother. And Emma, I'm not even going to tell you what Emma drew. I'm sorry, Elissa. Elissa. I'm losing my mind. I'm not going to tell you what Elissa. I'm not going to tell you what Elissa drew. I'm going to let that be a surprise. But really, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. So we, shuffled the cards. There's like this many cards. And we shuffled them and picked the one that we thought would, help best guide us for Spring Equinox. Oh, and look at that. I drew a rainbow. That's amazing. And I picked the mother card. Which I will talk about a little bit later. You'll hear reflections on these cards and how they inspired us to think about the Spring Equinox, Ostara, and the influence it has in our life.
Yes, so I drew the maiden card, which felt too predictable. The words we were brainstorming words that we associated with each, and for the maiden we said things like freedom, possibility, joy, softness, receptivity, becoming. And one of the quotes that was written in the book describing the card said, "How do we become who we are in the world? We ask the world to teach us, but we have to ask with an open heart, with no idea what the answer will be." And it also described the maiden as unburdened by preconceptions, opinions, and set ways, and being comfortable with what she does not know. So I'm going to take a little bit of a leap to talk about a workshop I took recently, but I promise I'll weave it all back together at the end. So this workshop was about being a fool. And not in the way that you might expect. So typically when you hear the word fool, you might go straight to common adjectives like silly or goofy or playful, or even maybe a more negative connotation like the fool being someone who knew better but did it anyway, or who messed up when they shouldn't have made such a blatant error in judgment. But in this particular workshop, we were asked to look at the fool instead of those playful traits or a critique of behavior. We were asked to look at it simply as the unfiltered self. And we talked about how so many of us move through the world with a socialized set of behaviors that we know will help us achieve things we want, like belonging and love and connection. And similarly, we move through the world avoiding a different set of behaviors that we know could create turbulence or make people look at us funny or set us apart as different and thus risk rejection. And we talked about how this is exhausting and limiting and over time harmful both to us as individuals but also to our communities, where diversity and freedom of expression are important to our thriving. So in the particular workshop, we practiced bringing our unfiltered selves forward to be seen. And what this looked like was things like speaking in gibberish at the same time. Our only goal was to not make any sense. In another exercise, we partnered up and took turns asking obscure questions, and then answering in a way that purposely didn't relate to the question at all. We went in a circle around the Zoom room, saying the most ridiculous word we could think of. We chose an inanimate object and pretended to give it a voice, using only sounds and not words. And to wrap up the whole thing, we were each given 4 minutes of freedom to do anything we wanted, to embody being a fool. To practice not knowing what to do, and to practice realizing that we were accepted anyway. The point, among many, was that we were safe to be ourselves without having to prove anything. We were connecting to and accepting each other without having to prove our worth or our intelligence or our goodness. We explored self-expression by following our present moment impulses, by purposely not planning what we would do or say next. We practiced lowering the stakes of our expression. In a world where we often feel like we have so much to prove, all of this was incredibly liberating. And so the way we were asked to practice that not knowing or that being in uncertainty feels very related to maiden energy and to spring. I think the earth really embodies the fool in the springtime. She says it's time to bloom and doesn't hold back. She doesn't filter anything out of fear. She claims her worthiness and funnels energy into every expression that wants to be alive. She doesn't deem certain flowers more appropriate than others or certain buds more acceptable. She simply opens and offers herself to be seen. And I think this is so gently humbling and inspiring to be able to watch the slow unfurling of life and the unfiltered expression of aliveness that the earth unfolds into each spring. And it gives me a nudge to do the same for myself, to check in and see if there are any parts of me that want to be more alive or want to display themselves in a way that they may not have before.
So the card that I said that I drew from the deck was the mother card. And to me, it seemed like the perfect time to talk about balance and paradox. My life could be characterized as organized chaos. And that's probably another message, possibly therapy session. I'm not sure which one. So often in life, especially in Western culture, we are taught to see things with an either-or kind of mentality. It's either right or wrong. It is black or white. One is male or female. One is strong or one is weak. What seems like just yesterday and a long time ago, I participated in the UU Adult Education Curriculum Cakes for the Queen of Heaven. I don't remember a lot of what we talked about because it was a long time ago. But I do remember a session on Mary, the mother of Jesus. And what I remember about this lesson was that Mary was someone that women were supposed to emulate if you were a Christian, but especially if you were Catholic. And how her dichotomy, her paradox was harmful to women because she was thought to be the perfect woman, yet unattainable. Maiden and mother, virgin and lover, vulnerable and strong, sacred and secular. And how could anybody live up to that? There's no room in this approach to thinking both and. Yet life is filled with these paradoxes, which I will argue enable one to stay balanced and present in this world. From a book that I really loved, and if you have a chance to pick this up, as you can see, we did it for two of us read it in school for our book study, and just got so much out of it. It's Brené Brown's Atlas of the Heart. And it's just a beautiful book. So Brené says, from its Greek origins, the term paradox is the joining of two words. Para, contrary to, and dokein, opinion. The Latin term paradoxum means seemingly absurd, but really true. Brené says in her book, she defines paradox as the appearance of contradiction between two related components. Although light and darkness seem to be opposites, you can't have one without the other. The opposing elements of a paradox are inextricably linked. Even though the elements seem contradictory, they actually complement and inform each other in ways that allow us to discover underlying truths about ourselves and the world. I recently read a post by Joss Slabert called "The Modern Taoist Sage." It's amazing what you can find on the internet. He began his reflection by saying, "The Taoist sage consists of paradoxes that would mortify most people, but do not seem to bother him at all. The sage is detached yet compassionate, enjoys life yet does not cling to it, is a perfectionist yet indifferent to success or failure, is a person of honor yet avoids reaping honor, ignores ethics and morals but lives a life of the highest moral order, does not strive yet achieves, knows the answers but prefers to remain silent, has the innocence of a child but incredible inner strength. These paradoxes are in harmony in the sage, the same way nature itself seems to be a harmonious blend of paradoxes. This makes it difficult to describe the sage in conventional terms and categories. In fact, in most societies, the sage's qualities would be seen as negative or even harmful. And that's the end of Jose there for a minute. So a paradox is a statement or a proposition that seems self-contradictory or absurd, but in reality expresses a possible truth. Each of the above statements are examples of paradoxes. While they may appear contradictory, they are possible truths. It might not seem possible to be compassionate and detached at the same time. However, it is. The danger lies in being too much of one or the other. If one is exceedingly compassionate, for example, then it might appear as if one is weak, a pushover and easily manipulated. Conversely, if one is so detached from others that one has no compassion for anyone, then one can be perceived as cold-hearted and mean. It is in the balance between the yin and the yang, between the compassion and the detachment, that one is able to experience compassion for others without making what they are going through about you. You can have compassion for the suffering and simultaneously celebrate the joy in your life. It is not an either or, but a both and. And then we come back to the mother card. The mother, when balanced, embraces giving and receiving, creating and destroying, gentleness and power, nurturing others and nurturing oneself, patient and persistent, consistent and adaptable. She is both maiden and mother. She belongs to herself and to those she loves. As the wheel of the year turns through the equinox, when we approach any paradoxical situation or question as an either or, then we find ourselves in conflict and contradiction with aspects of the world and ourselves. When we seek to find balance in the recognition that these contradictory experiences happen simultaneously, we enter into a greater state of peace. There is a state of harmony and balance which comes when we give ourselves permission to be paradoxical.
So before I begin reading mine, I thought I should just share that this morning I sent a SOS text to Meg and Emma. Like I don't think I'm going to do it this morning, guys. I have nothing. I don't think I have anything to offer. Not in a place that I should be putting any of my energy out there. It's not going to help anybody. My energy here and not be putting any of it out there. But it's amazing. It's amazing. Just taking a deep breath and accepting help can really do. So preface. Okay. So after hearing Emma and Meg speak, you might be expecting to hear about a different card to perhaps round out this trio after hearing maiden, mother, maybe the femininity here. there are a lot of different cards and themes that would have helped us relate to the wheel of the year and to spring, or to the transitions of femininity that Emma and Meg's cards highlighted. But as we all know, nothing goes as planned. And even when there's rhythm, there's always going to be something that throws us off balance. And in our case, that was my card. I drew a lightning card. Emma spoke about spring as a time of blooming and opening, and how we all can soften and open into life by bringing our unfiltered selves forward. Meg reminded us that we live in the paradox. We live in a state of harmony and balance. When I looked at my lightning card, my mind went to words like energy, strength, raw, surrender, fear. I questioned how these words and the image of lightning were connected to spring and the themes we typically associate with spring, like birth, growth, blooming, softness. And so I had these lists that seemed to be complete paradoxes, as Meg spoke about. I had a list of my words for lightning and a list of words for spring, but I couldn't see how the two fit together. Then the other day, I came across this poem. I have a just daily readings book. I think it's called the Book of Awakening. And for the day, it said, "Even in the dark." I'll just read a passage from it. To be broken is no reason to see all things as broken. This is the trick to staying well, isn't it? To feel the sun even in the dark. To not lose the truth of things when they go out of view. To grow just the same. To know there is still water even when we are thirsty. To know there is still love even when we are lonely. To know there is still peace even when we are suffering. None of this invalidates our pain, but only strengthens our way back into the light. Breathe slowly through the part of you that doubts, and feel the fact of life. It will be there when you can open your spirit, as you did when you were born. This quote really does summarize the last 10 months of my life. Needing to hold two truths. Knowing that two opposite things can be true and real at the same time. So I wasn't necessarily given the card that I may have expected, or an easy card, so to speak. Had I drawn the crone, that would have made sense. But nonetheless, this card still fit as a reminder that when I'm ready to see the other list of spring, like the growth and renewal and rebirth, it's there and it's waiting for me to see it. It's not that it doesn't exist in this moment. It's just that right now I'm holding it in one hand, and I'm not ready to live that part. I'm still working on that other side of the paradox. They're both there, waiting for me, whenever I'm ready.
All right, now we're going to sing a song together. And yes, please, grab an instrument. If you feel so moved. How could we possibly have an instrument in our hands and remain seated? I think it's impossible. So I invite you to stand up if you are willing and able. Maybe this is a little nod to Emma's school workshop. I give you permission to give away your cool card. And be a middle schooler again, which really is what on the thing. So participate in whatever way you feel comfortable, and sing when you are ready to sing. I'll start it out. Open mine eyes that I may see glimpses of truth thou hast. Open mine eyes, illumine me, Spirit divine. Love my life, I am crying, I am not dying, I am dancing along in the dance. Your sadness, only a song of the soul, and I sing this song. Why don't you sing now? And sing for a why don't you sing this song? Why don't you sing now? And we can sing for a long, long time. What you do for your living? Are you forgiving, giving shelter? Follow your heart, love will find you, truth will unbind you. Sing out a song of the soul, and we'll sing this song. Why don't you sing now? And sing for a long, long time. Why don't you sing this song? Why don't you sing now? And sing for a long, come to life like a warrior, nothing will bore you. You can be happy. Let the light heal you and heal you. Sing out a song of the soul, and we'll sing this song. Why don't you sing now? And sing for a long, long time. Why don't you sing this song? Why don't you sing now? And sing for a long, long time. And sing for a long, long time. Woo! So our closing today is Spring Equinox by Stephanie Laird. From its winter sleep, the earth is awoken. The cycle of nature, true and unbroken. The promise of spring, of life, and new start, to fill you with faith in mind, body, and heart. The perfect wheel of nature keeps spinning with proof that an ending is just the beginning. Rejoice in this season, yet fill you with peace. And may the blessing of nature for you never cease.
I know it's not quite April, but this song fell into the right one. Kind of regretting that any program something we can use percussion instruments. It's a bit more introspective than that, but this is a song by Prince. Tracy died soon after a long-fought civil war. Just after I'd wiped away his last tear. Maybe he's better off than he was before. A whole lot better off the fools he left here. I used to cry for Tracy cause he was my only friend. Those kind of cars don't pass you every day. I used to cry for Tracy cause I want to see him again. But sometimes life ain't always the way. Sometimes it snows in April. Sometimes I feel so bad, so bad. Sometimes I wish that life was never ending. And all the good things they say never last. Springtime was always my favorite time of year. A time for lovers holding hands in the rain. Now springtime only reminds me of Tracy's tears. We'll always cry for love, never cry for pain. He used to stay so strong, unafraid to die, unafraid of the death that left me hypnotized. No, staring at his picture, I realized no one could cry the way my Tracy cried. Sometimes it snows in April. Sometimes I feel so bad, so bad. Sometimes I wish that life was never ending. And all good things they say never last. I often dream of heaven. I know that Tracy's there. I know that he has found another friend. Maybe he's found the answers to all the April snow. Maybe one day I'll see my Tracy again. Sometimes it snows in April. Sometimes I feel so bad.